Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Charlie and Garrett here from Visoki Entertainment, and today we're going to be doing talking about the Eternals. Pretty much a little update for the series because there's been some news flowing out this week, which, as you know, that's a good sign.
Yep.
But yeah, so the first little update here, it's kind of a big thing. Looks like it's rumored that they're bringing Angelina Jolie, and yeah, I mean Angelina Jolie's a household name, has been for many years. So yeah, what do you think about this?
I think it's really interesting because anyone that's seen the movie Wanted knows that obviously she's not shying away from comic book properties. I don't think anybody is. I don't know if anyone even realizes that the movie Wanted is based on a comic book property. Great movie though, curving bullets and stuff. But like, I mean, it's like the thing about the MCU at this point that I think is so glorious is they can bring in these actors that are known now, but they didn't need to begin with. Like I think outside of like RDJ, like your most known actor was probably either Scarlett or Chris Evans, or maybe Hemsworth. I don't know, but like, yeah, I mean, when he was still the Hulk, maybe Edward Norton. I mean, you have some people that were known to a degree, but not very well. So, and not for necessarily like Chris Evans. I don't know what his biggest role was to that point, but
Might have been Johnny Storm.
It might have been like, well, I think maybe the Not Another Teen Romance or whatever that movie was. Like I think that probably was pretty big because I think that's what launched his career. But I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I mean, just adding any more names you can add to make the MCU bigger or seem bigger is probably a benefit at this point. Not that it needs it though, with billions of dollars coming in for Avengers movies.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, I agree, man. I tend to think bringing Angelina Jolie into, because I think the Eternals is something not a lot of people know about. So when it drops, I mean, they're gonna have to get us some big advertising, I guess, like Guardians did. Because I mean, these are not as popular as your Captain America, as your Iron Man. So they're gonna have a little bit harder. So getting a name like Angelina Jolie strapped onto this, I mean, right away, that's gonna bring in people that just love her in general, right?
Right, and then and the thing is too, I mean, it makes complete sense that you'd want to attach some bigger names to these characters that not necessarily everybody's going to know. The biggest thing to me is that it's just like we have to put the asterisk on this, that this is just, she's in talks. There's nothing's been confirmed. This is just so until there's actually confirmed, no one in the cast has been confirmed yet. So they're just searching, I assume at this point, probably trying some people out. But yeah. But yeah, I mean, it definitely would be interesting if she was brought on.
So as well as Angelina Jolie this week, it looks like they're bringing in Hercules as the main protagonist, and as well as this rumor came in, it also looks like they're casting their first openly gay lead in the MCU, which is we're gonna talk about. It's kind of surprising that already hasn't happened. Yeah, I mean, that's just another little addition to it. What do you think about Hercules being the main protagonist in the Eternals movie? I think we lost Garrett for a second here. I'll go first then. But I think it'd be a cool idea with the gods bringing in Hercules because you got Thor and...
Sorry, I disconnected for a second there.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, what do you think about Hercules?
Yeah, so it's an interesting proposition to introduce this concept of multiple pantheons of gods being real in the Marvel universe. Like if you go to the actual Marvel comic landscape, it's not just Thor and Odin and all them. You have Hercules and Zeus. You have a representation of, I believe, the Christian type god. You have like the Hindu type character. I mean, so basically there's this group called the Sky Fathers or the Godheads. Basically they're the top gods in all of the different religions or whatever, and they kind of come in this like group and they kind of decide what they're going to do to save the universe and stuff like that. Sometimes they are the ones that come in contact like the cosmic entities when stuff's popping off. I mean, it really just depends. They're like some of the most powerful characters, but like there are characters that even dwarf their power. So it's like it's introducing this idea that even though there are many gods in the Marvel universe, maybe if they do their own version of this, like if they bring in Hercules, maybe we don't see the old version of this, but we see the hint of that, and then like Hercules and Peter Quill, if he makes it, and Thor and all these characters that are more or less gods, become this sort of council, if you will. You can make an argument for Captain Marvel because we've not seen anything that suggests that she hasn't aged in like 20 years. So what does that mean?
Yeah, very true. That is very true. Yeah, I think it'd definitely be awesome. And like you said, they're expanding a lot, so that would be definitely neat. And along with all this, we also got some announcement. It looks like September 16th in London is when filming is set to begin with this movie. So, with all the time frames and everything, as we know that Marvel has 2 slots right now for 2020. It's in May and November. How they hit that May one, I mean, it had to be Black Widow and had to be like some stuff that they would have to theoretically be going now, right?
So, yeah, I think that slot is either something that's been in the can for a while and they just haven't released.
It was originally going to be Guardians.
There's nothing been in. Yeah, the problem is there's been nothing that was announced that they just haven't released. So
yeah,
if New Mutants is done, which I don't think they ever did the reshoots for that, so maybe they sneak the reshoots for New Mutants and slide it in there.
Yeah,
maybe, I don't know, but that's just an absurd guess. I have no idea, but more or less the timeline for this, the way they're saying it's going to work out, is it should. So for people that don't know in production terms. The term pre-production is usually referred to anything that happens before what they call the principal photography of a movie starts, which is all the actual filming of everything that's going to happen in the movie. And post-production usually includes everything that takes place after, which is usually stuff like visual effects that aren't finished being fully done and added to the scenes. Things like editing, things like that, other things like that. So that's just basic explanation of how that stuff works. So if they're saying they're moving into production in September, that means pre-production is likely already started and is moving rather quickly at this point, meaning they're going to have to start signing on a cast at some point so they can start setting up for when they're going to film in places. Obviously, they've already got dates for the UK when they're going to film. Obviously, they just need to cast the actors now. So obviously rumored right now is Angelina Jolie. Did we talk about what they're going to potentially be looking for with Hercules, or have we said anything yet?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and with that information too, you can assume that they'll be looking at some actors to fill that role. I have no idea who that would be. I'm sure there's people out there. But yeah, I mean, it looks like, yeah. It looks like when this was reported on the Hollywood Reporter, or not, probably this isn't the Hollywood Reporter, by the people on this website that I'm looking at right now, which is, I don't know, inverse.com, are thinking that wasn't going to be them playing Hercules. So I guess that's kind of combining the information that Hercules is potentially going to be headlining the movie. I guess that would make sense if those reports are both true, but who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is from stuff from the hashtag show and stuff like that. I don't know what the hashtag show is, so I don't know how valid that source is. But either way, so theoretically, if they're starting filming then in January is when it's going to be done. I mean, I don't think it would be impossible for them to hit that May date. But then, what do you put in that November slot? I have no idea. So I'm thinking it's going to be the November slot, whether or not they have the time to get it done. I have a feeling if it comes out in that May slot, it's going to be very rushed.
Yeah. The May one, I don't see
that slot may even be moved to adjust for something else that might come out that year. I mean, maybe.
Even so, I feel like the November, it has a better chance of being Black Widow than this movie, because Black Widow starts filming in a little over 3 months, or less than 3 months now. Actually, it's just about April. And so
Chad, those combined pieces of information, it should come out in November. Theoretically,
that'd be,
so it should have a long post-production opportunity because I feel like that movie is going to be as reliant as the MCU has been on CGI anyway. I think it's going to be a lot of visual effects in that movie, so it may take a long time even to just finish. So, but yeah, guys, little updates here. We got some more videos coming out soon. This next week, we got a lot of stuff coming out. We got WrestleMania predictions, TakeOver predictions, WrestleMania itself, with our wrestling stuff, with the VE Squadcast. We'll have Brady back. Brady's been very busy. And then we also have a little fantasy casting, and we're seeing Shazam this week.
which Shazam is at a 93% right now on Rotten Tomatoes. So for DC, that is huge.
Oh.
But yeah, guys, that'll be it for us. Like and subscribe. Hit the little bell so you know when we go live.
Ding!
And we will see you guys soon.